Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I got a few DC updates for you today as we head into the new year, the new work year, because tomorrow's Monday. But I've got some cool stuff. But before I get into that, I want to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you to the Nicotina Show, or Andre. Thank you so much for joining as a member. I know you joined over on the live chat, but I figured I give you a shout out here. Be sure to check out his channel. He has a YouTube channel as well. Got some content over there that you can check out. All right, now let's get on with the show. The first topic of the day has to do with The Flash. This is coming from Casey Walsh, the comics kid. He is the editor-in-chief of the Geeks Worldwide. He shared this, thinking about Batgirl showing up in The Flash with Michael Keaton. Who we casting? Now, that was something, back in Vanity Fair, and they had other articles that showed up from Deadline, The Hollywood Reporter, that was saying that Michael Keaton was going to have spin-offs and that it's possible there will be a Batgirl movie. And it would be like a Batman, or you would just say a Batgirl Beyond, because essentially Batgirl is going to be under the wing of the older Michael Keaton Batman to train as Batgirl. So it looks like that's still going to happen, and he does have sources in terms of talking about what is to come of that. Christina Hodson, who is the writer for The Flash, is also the writer for Batgirl. So it does make a lot of sense. Don't know who they're casting, but it does say here that Christina Hodson is writing both, and the idea is she will be a student of Keaton's Batman, and it will probably be the daughter of Pat Hingle-Gordon. So that would be where the direction that they're going to go with a certain Michael Keaton Batman spin-off, right? I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm gonna say I was a fan of Batman and the Batman and Batman Returns and Michael Keaton's Batman. That for me was my Batman for the very long time until Ben Affleck showed up because he's awesome. But Michael Keaton's Batman, that would be kind of cool to see the third movie in a way. So seeing how him being an older Batman, maybe still being with Selena Kyle, and then having to train a new Bat family, which is Batgirl, and to take on criminals during that time period. And this is where I'm still hoping for that Nicolas Cage as Superman, because that would be pretty damn awesome if he showed up. But I think it's different, but in a way kind of cool for people who are fans of Michael Keaton's Batman, and a possibility to have a futuristic dystopian maybe setting, kind of a Blade Runner setting would be kind of cool. Yeah, it's not Terry McGinnis, but they are going to try to do that, I think, in terms of that. And a lot of people are going to be divisive about not getting their actual Batman Beyond movie. But hey, this is the multiverse. So maybe later on someone could do a Terry McGinnis a version of an actual Batman Beyond movie. But for now, it sounds like a Michael Keaton spinoff with Batgirl could definitely be a possibility. All right, let's talk about Wonder Woman 1984 a little bit more. I know, it's still out of theaters. This is the second weekend. Big drop, though. It was like 60-something% drop. But then again, it's pandemic, and it's available on HBO Max, so maybe people are just checking out on HBO Max. A lot of different criteria, things that kind of hamper the box office, the records in terms of movie theaters right now. But Patty Jenkins does respond to certain criticisms, and in this regards is the Steve Trevor controversy. Now, this may be spoilers if you haven't seen Wonder Woman 1984, so if you don't want to hear any more about Wonder Woman 1984, then go on to the next topic, the next chapter, which has to deal with Wonder Woman 3. All right, are you still here? Okay, so this is coming from comicbook.com. It's in regards to a tweet. Patty Jenkins seemingly responds to criticism of Wonder Woman 1984 Steve Trevor controversy. This is the tweet. And what she just says is, ha ha ha, exactly, at Dusty Don't You, which is this person who put this out. So I'm going to read this to you. My defense of Patty Jenkins and Wonder Woman 1984 usage of the body swap trope. Right? Because a lot of people are very up in arms that Steve Trevor took over a body and that person, that random dude, like my son called him, slept with Diana Prince, right? His body, in any case. And then he wakes up in Christmas morning and he doesn't know what the hell what happened, right? And so people are kind of taken aback by that. Now, body swap tropes are utilized a lot in the 80s. And so in my kind of review of that, I was like, I think it's something that they used in the 80s, but utilizing that now could be, not good in terms of how we perceive situations now, right? But this is what she's linking. Oh, this person's linking about body swap. The body swap trope. It says, number one, I'm linking the wiki to the body swap movie genre. If you can't see that Patty Jenkins was playing with that trope and even intentionally pointing out the problematic nature that all these movies have to skirt around, then I think you need to re-examine a beloved 80s fantasy movie like Big with Tom Hanks, where he, as a 12-year-old in an adult body, has sex with an adult female, making her a statutory rapist by default. Also, the movie implies that if you revoke your wish, then much of the impact of your wish is revoked. Hence, even the sex Diana had with the guy possessed with Steve may have actually been eradicated from the movie's fabric of reality. So in this situation, this is something that Patty Jenkins is saying, yes, that was her intention. Patty Jenkins is saying this is the case. This is her explanation of that criticism that's going around involving Steve Trevor. I don't know. What do you think about this? Comment down below. Let me know how do you feel about this controversy if you've seen Wonder Woman 1984. All right. So in regards to Patty Jenkins, there's also talk about Wonder Woman 3. Apparently, she is gearing up to work on both Wonder Woman 3 and Rogue Squadron at the same time. Yeah, she really did. So speaking with Collider, Jenkins confirmed that she will be working on Wonder Woman 3, Rogue Squadron, and a Cleopatra movie and more once she finishes press for Wonder Woman 1984, revealing that she's going to work on all the projects rather than simply focusing on just one. All of them, really. And I have a TV show. All of them, but I'm super excited to head into, I think they're all great, and I continue to push them along, and we have sort of plans for what will go first, and I try to organize how multiple things can happen, Jenkins said. So further explain that part of doing multiple things at once comes from each project needing more than just 1 year, and that's she's learning how to balance things. She said this: you can never do it in 1 year. You could never do a good Star Wars movie in 1 year or a good Cleopatra in 1 year. I think each of these movies takes 2 years, probably, Jenkins said. But I do think, as I even learned on the 2 Wonder Womans, I already had sold a limited TV series that I was in love with when they decided to move the Wonder Woman 1984 release date up. So suddenly, it was happening on top of each other. And I was actually able to write a huge treatment and have a bunch of creative meetings and go off and do my show while pre-production was happening for Wonder Woman 1984. So there are a lot of ways. Certainly until I'm on set shooting Star Wars, I could be developing all sorts of other things and pushing them forward. It is actually possible. So I think that's apparently how people do it. Do multiple things at one time, which I'm usually pretty singularly focused, but I'm getting better at this all the time. As for how Jenkins will do it, she's previously confirmed that she's already pretty far along in development of Rogue Squadron. We're very far into we're finishing the treatment, basically, finishing the treatment of Rogue Squadron, which is pretty big. So it ends up being like we're where you're fairly close to a well-along screenplay by the time I'm done with the treatment and process. So yeah, we've been working on it for a while. It's doing great. I'm super excited about it. I'm super excited about the story, which makes sense because Rogue Squadron comes out December 22nd, 2023. Wonder Woman 3 does not have a release date yet. But the fact that she had finished Wonder Woman 1984 the year before, because that was when it was supposed to originally come out, she had a whole year through COVID to write some stuff up, including Cleopatra. So I'm sure all that pre-production was done during that time, as she kept waiting and waiting for Wonder Woman 1984 to be released. So maybe even at that time, she also has kind of something, maybe a treatment for Wonder Woman 3 as well. But in any case, she's real all in. She's ready to do all 3 projects at the same time in terms of shooting one after the other. So I'm guessing it's probably looking like we're not gonna have a Wonder Woman 3 maybe until 2024 or even 25, even I don't know. Maybe 2024 would most likely. So, but we'll see. I'll continue to update you as soon as we see more information about Wonder Woman 3. All right. Now, we're talking to rumors now. This is coming from Daniel RPK, which is being reported by DC Verso. Apparently, Jared Leto wants Zack Snyder to run his Joker project. So Jared Leto wants Zack Snyder to run his Joker project, wants this project to be R-rated and to explore the Joker by killing Robin. Now, DC Verso put hashtag make the Leto Joker series. I'm not really clear if it's going to be a series. It's just stated as a project, so it could be a movie as well. And initially, I thought when he talked about wanting to have that killing Robin, Zack Snyder had talked about it being a comic book, doing some type of comic run. And in this case, it sounds like Jared Leto wants to actually film this thing. So I originally thought it was going to be part of the Batman movie in some flashback scenario, but it's starting to look like it could be more of a spin-off directly off of Zack Snyder's Justice League or from the Batman, and where Jared Leto gets his own kind of, I guess, a solo Joker film that he's always wanted. So maybe that could be the case, and I'm gonna say the budget might not have to be that high, especially if it's gonna come out on HBO Max. Just his makeup and not much special effects on that thing. I think they could really make it a tight little movie and make a lot of fans happy at the same time, also kind of adding to Zack Snyder's Snyderverse, if you will. So I think this will be kind of cool. I don't know if this is going to happen. This is a rumor for now, but I'm hoping that Jared Leto, seemingly very passionate about his version of Joker and wants to explore it further, maybe pass beyond the air cut of Suicide Squad and Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'd say let him have it. Let him have it. Why not? This is the multiverse. Let's have multiple Jokers. That'll be pretty rad. All right. Now, in terms of Snyderverse, so we're talking about how the New York Times and the studio executives, Walter Hamada, was referring to Zack Snyder's Justice League as a project that leads to nowhere. It's like a road that leads to nowhere, and it's a dead end. They called it a cul-de-sac. Well, Kevin Smith actually has a reaction to Warner Bros. Cul-de-sac comments about Zack Snyder's Justice League. So this is pulled from Movies That Mayor. He put this out. He tweeted this out, and I'm going to play this little clip for you right now.
The last little bit is that as for the Snyder Cut, DC Films told the Times that is a storytelling cul-de-sac, a street that leads nowhere.
Wait,
in other
who told
words,
you this?
DC Films told the New York Times that the HBO Max event, the Snyder Cut, is a storytelling cul-de-sac, a street that leads nowhere. In other words, the Snyder Cut is not part of the DC Films blueprint that's been discussed here.
Just out of curiosity, why would you say that? Why would one feel the need to put that out there before this thing even happens? Because what if it, fucking takes the world by storm in March and people are like, we want fucking more and shit? What, they're saying like, no, there won't be more. Because I happen to know that the ending that he's got for the Snyder Cut is very not a cul-de-sac. It takes it to a weird neighborhood, but it's not a cul-de-sac. You can keep fucking going with the story based on what I've heard from a friend. So
I mean, it's weird also given the fact that most of the actors who are in the mainline DCEU came from that. You know, so you're not going to recast Jason Momoa. You're not going to recast Gal Gadot. You know, there's going to be more Batmen. Who knows? I still I'm uncertain about Ezra Miller going forward, even though Warner Brothers seems, you know, locked and loaded and ready to go with him. So there's always going to be a strain of the Snyderverse because these are the actors who populated it. But whether or not they're going to give Zack more license to make more Justice League movies, I think is the maybe not.
But again, like, why say that now? Like, I would hedge my bets and wait until March and the tale was told, you know, because that way, if the audience, let the audience decide. Like, if the audience is like, we want fucking more, man, then you don't have to go back on what you said. Like, apparently it's not a cul-de-sac. Let's keep going.
Yeah. Unless it was all a well-designed PR ploy to get.
Is it a well-designed PR ploy? Interesting. Now, there's a couple things here. Kevin Smith obviously has a lot of faith in the Snyderverse, and exactly what we've been talking about. Like, why would they say that? Why would DC Films, why would Warner Brothers executives kind of close off an avenue that could be probably be, that could probably be prosperous, right? It could actually bring them a lot more money. Why would you close it off like that? And like you said, let the audience speak for themselves. Why are you trying to stop this before it even starts, right? So I agree with Kevin Smith. And Kevin Smith, hearing it from a friend, I wonder, is it Ben Affleck or is it Jim Lee? You know, we all know that the Snyder Cut doesn't lead to an ending. There is actually an open end, you know, to that. It does lead to something more. So definitely, if it's successful, they're going to have to probably look at it and says, look, the audience wants more, the consumers want more, let's make more. So I like his thinking, and if Kevin Smith is thinking that, you bet your butt that a lot of the executives that are higher than these folks who are calling a cul-de-sac are probably already thinking that as well. Probably even Jason Kylar probably is already thinking about that as well. So here's hoping, and I think it will be successful, and it all depends on us. All right, let's get into when are we going to get to see more marketing for the Snyder Cut. It's already the new year. Now, Zack said a new year, and he said to me, I think a couple of people have said there could be some things in January, but Zack himself said new year. And, you know, honestly, our impatient, giddy selves thought that he meant New Year's Day. That didn't happen. Of course, we're on January 3rd and 4th. So, don't know what's going to happen right now and what's going to happen this month. But looks like, judging from what Grace Randolph is saying, that marketing campaign kicks up in February. She said this: last I heard, the Snyder Cut HBO Max campaign kicks off at the beginning of February. Sure, they could change their minds, but that's the most up-to-date information. She even went on further in another tweet that I can't find right now that the trailer, the full trailer, will come out in early February as well. She believes it's early February. And as you see there, Dave the Film Junkie also confirms that as well. And they last I heard, it's still a movie. Now, a trailer in February. a lot of people are wondering, okay, all right, so we'll just have to wait, another month just to get there. It's just next month. So where we've waited for years. We're going to see it the month after the full trailer. So that's fine, just in a way to get everybody to sign up on HBO Max and everything like that, get the hype up. But what's in February? I mean, there's several dates they could do it. And one of the dates that people are talking about right now is Super Bowl weekend, right? And that's, I believe, it's the February the 7th. And that could be quite intense. I think what would be the best way to get it in people's TVs at home, millions of Americans, Super Bowl. Will they spend those extra millions of dollars to invest into this in making a small little trailer or full-blown trailer, or even maybe a teaser just for Super Bowl, and then telling people to go online to watch the full trailer or something? That could possibly happen, because I don't know how many millions of dollars per 30 seconds now, or a minute, I don't know. But from last time I heard, it was pretty damn expensive. But if they do that, it also shows a lot of confidence in Warner Media, a lot of confidence in the project from Warner Media. They're willing to spend the money to market this thing at the Super Bowl. It is the biggest DC project coming out. So, and it seems like it's a big deal. Everybody seems to know about the Snyder Cut. And if they don't know about the Snyder Cut, they at least know the term, the Snyder Cut. So, I'm really curious to see if it does come out Super Bowl, or are we going to choose like February 14th, 2/14 once again, just because it's a symbolic number? Does Zack have any say in where the marketing goes for that or not? I don't know. But in any case, it is a Snyder Cut year. So in these first 3 months, it's going to be the best time of our Snyder Cut lives right now. The best time of our Snyder Cut lives. So, and it's going to kick off tomorrow. Tomorrow, or by the time you see this, there is going to be another interview with Zack Snyder. So I'm going to share this with you right now. So stay tuned with Comic Book Debate. The Faruqi brothers are going to have a discussion and interview with Zack Snyder, right, at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 4th, January 4th, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There will be a video. Make sure you go and subscribe below. I'm going to link this in the description below. Put notification on to watch as it drops. An exclusive interview with Zack Snyder. And you never know. Maybe Zack will decide to share something there. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm just saying that when he comes on any of our interviews, he drops some cool little nuggets, and it's great to share that in itself. So it's great to hear from him and great to see him. So we can all wish him a happy new year when he comes on to their show. So that will be tomorrow or today, depending on where you are when you actually see this. All right. Well, now let's get on to the members' questions and comments. Like I said, if you want to become a member of the Ping Pong Flix Show, please join as a member down below, and then comment or question on any of my videos, and I will display it and answer it on the next show. All right. So the first one's coming from Belle Reeve Mendez. Also, when do you think the new Snyder Cut trailer is coming out? That's easy. I just, Grace Randolph and Dave the Film Junkie seemingly saying that the trailer will be dropped in early February. Belle Reeve Mendez, but if it's earlier than that, please, like January, 22nd, my birthday would be nice. Belle Reeve Mendez, binge watching your latest updates. Got busy moving to a new house. Well, congratulations. As always, good stuff, Chris. Well, thank you so much, Belle Reeve. By the way, Belle Reeve also has a YouTube channel. I've watched a couple of her things. Go out and check her out as well. Hardboiled Entertainment, Eric Blake, another potential connection between Wonder Woman 1984 and Superman 2. Oh, by the way, that's in my editorial that it came out. I changed the titles many times because it wasn't getting traction, but I think I've settled with how Wonder Woman 1984 was inspired by Superman 2. And there's like top 5 reasons why. Please go and check out that little editorial. The link is up in the right-hand corner right now. Okay. So another potential connection between Wonder Woman 1984 and Superman 2 involves the endings of, well, both verses of Superman 2. The Donner cut has Supes go back in time, Speed Force, and ensure that Zod and crew aren't released from the Phantom Zone. The Lester cut still has Clark kiss Lois in a way that somehow wipes her memory of the film's events. Yes. Either way, there's an idea in Superman 2 of people no longer recalling the events of the film to that point. For Wonder Woman 1984, well, the lack of news reports on the events of the climax seems to point to something similar. I was thinking about that too, because just like the body swap trope that I talked about earlier, and no spoilers, I just said body swap trope, but revoking a wish seems to have canceled out certain properties. So maybe when at the end where the wish was revoked or renounced, maybe a lot of people just forgot about what had happened. So that there may be something to that as well. George, I agree 100% with you, Chris. This was Patty's sole intent. She has always said that she was heavily influenced by Donner's Superman movies, and there is no reason to believe otherwise, that they are very similar in many ways. And yeah, now I know there's probably more than Superman 2 in there, including the first movie as well. But I wanted to just pull one movie and do like a short little video. So I pulled Superman 2 and I just named like the 5 things that I saw like firsthand, right? Timothy Dahlbeck. The weird thing is that I literally realized that Wonder Woman 1984 is literally a mildly different Superman 2 while I was showering yesterday. How crazy is that? Great minds think alike, Timothy. And yeah, definitely that was something, it ran through my head the second time I watched it. And so it's great to see that other people feel the same. Thank you, Timothy. Super email. Imagine the hype level for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 if this had been the pattern. Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Aquaman, Shazam, The Batman, Wonder Woman 1984, JL 2 and 3. Yeah, definitely. In a way, aside from the air cut, because that hasn't been announced yet, like if we could go back to this time period where we're getting to see this kind of over again, we're at the ZSJL. Oh, of course, we won't have the Jenkins cut either, but we're going out of order. We're going to get Aquaman, Shazam, but we're going back in time in a way to 2017 to redo Justice League. So at least that for us is something cool. Lee Fusion Vision, 2 of my favorite Christopher Reeve quotes. So many of our dreams at first seem impossible, then they seem improbable, and then when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. When we have hope, we discover powers within ourselves we may have never known, the power to make sacrifices, to endure, to heal, and to love. Once we choose hope, everything is possible. Favorite Clark Kent quote, really, Lois, supposing that man had shot you, is it worth risking your life over $10, 2 credit cards, a hairbrush, and a lipstick? I remember that scene from Superman 1. That's awesome. Favorite Superman quote, no, sir, don't thank me, Warden. We're all part of the team. It's good night. And that's the same team, good night. That's when he dropped off Lex Luthor. So that's awesome. What did Santa bring you for Christmas, Chris? I didn't have any gifts, really. I mean, and honestly, I was the one giving away gifts to the kids and to other family members. I really ask for nothing. I don't need anything. If I wanted something, I can just go and get it. I just want other people to be happy, and that's enough for me. So yeah, it's been years now. Like I don't need anything. I tell people, don't worry about me. Don't worry about giving me anything. I'm okay. I just liked to give out during this time. Lee Fusion Vision Robinson. Hey Chris, when do you think the trailer will drop? When do you think the trailer will drop? Okay, so yeah, I just mentioned that earlier today that it's seemingly sounding like early February. So that may be the case. Has there been any updates for Strange Adventures? I personally think that show sounds the most fascinating among the DC series being produced for HBO Max, not including Zack Snyder's Justice League, being pitched as an anthology series with a space adventurer could make for a real cool show. Yeah, and there's no updates for Strange Adventures. I haven't heard anything, but yeah, I want more that. I want more of that type of space, kind of adventure as well. That's why I was really looking forward to Green Lantern. But reading more of Green Lantern started to sound more very Earth based, which is not what I wanted. I wanted more things out in space. That's one of the reasons why I actually really liked Krypton when Krypton came out, because they were exploring space, they were going to different planets, they were doing some out of the world type stuff, and I was all in. So yeah, I would love to see a Strange Adventures in some case. Danny Gray, Happy New Year, Chris. First of all, I'm so happy to hear this little talk start up again. Brings back memories of when the DCEU was just getting started. The hype is fully returning. The Snyderverse is well on the way to being restored. I agree. The Rebel Prince, I wouldn't believe a word from the Sun newspaper. They're the biggest, trashiest tabloid paper in the UK and will pull a story out of anywhere. Other people have told me that as well. That's why I said this is heavily rumor, and I'm not like I believe it, but at the same time, I'm saying it's always difficult to be in situations on set, especially during COVID. So I can understand if there are any frustrations at all. Eric Blake, speaking of Jared Leto, talking about doing more with Zack and presumably Batflick. Imagine Jared and Ben doing a live-action take on The Killing Joke. The speeches Joker and Batman give each other at the end of the comic really do link dramatically to the idea of them coming to an understanding. Cue their teaming up in The Nightmare Batman. Now, I always thought at the end, the Joker, that's when Batman actually kills Joker. Am I thinking that wrong? I got to go back and look at the comic. Other things on my HBO Max wish list to build on what a member said last episode. Obviously, a Lois Lane series. Amy starring and producing, of course, tying into and setting up the events of upcoming Man of Steel films and the events of Martian Manhunter series starring Harry Lennox, a young counterpart for flashbacks, and Christina Wren with her own arc, Carol Ferris getting the Star Sapphire ring, the Green Lantern Corps film linking to those events, particularly Carol becoming Star Sapphire, the Question series with Mary Elizabeth Winstead's Huntress, a major player. I like that one, last one. But yeah, Carol becoming Star Sapphire, I keep forgetting about that. That's something that would be kind of cool. Although, I just, isn't the last name spelled differently? I could have sworn. So, like, some cases, I'm like thinking that, yeah, that's Star Sapphire, and she loved some of the comments and things like that when in regards to that when under her pictures and stuff like that. But I gotta think. I thought it was Ferris, and it's not Ferris. But very very intriguing. I've never thought about asking Zach, and maybe one day I will. Cooper Moser, what do you think is the most misunderstood moment in BVS to people? I forgot to heart this, by the way. Misunderstood moment in BVS to people, it's probably Martha. I would say Martha moment is the most misunderstood, most joked about, but also the most talked about moment in a lot of, even in Hollywood, right? When people say Martha, they instantly know you're talking about BVS. Eric Blake, I'll say this. Had Patty Jenkins been allowed to use her originally intended ending for Wonder Woman, with Ares remaining like a simple man, I think people might have more easily accepted the casting. Ares looking like a totally unthreatening fellow would be more clearly part of the point. I agree. It did kind of look weird seeing that thewless head over this giant armored body with a mustache. I agree. I think it would have been different. It would have been not a big blockbuster type of ending, but I think the things that Patty Jenkins wanted to do with that would have been more, like she said, thematic, and maybe it would have ringed better. But we won't know now unless he releases unless they release the Jenkins cut. I don't know if they will, but if they, right now, that's all we get to see, and that's the one that came out. So I'm intrigued. I want to see how, from beginning to end of that movie to the ending that you wanted, how it pulls together. And if it pulls together in that thematically how she intended, it could be really powerful, especially when the conversation comes to like war and how it's mankind's fault, and not necessarily you have to blame it on a god and things like that. I think it would have been something else. Why is everybody still confused with Jared Leto being in Zack Snyder's Justice League or not? Didn't you see the second interview with Grace Randolph where she talks about filming Jared as Joker with Zack? So he is in it? Yeah. I agree. Like, I think it's probably that interview didn't see Grace Randolph's interview. Maybe they didn't research it correctly, and maybe Jared Leto also didn't know that Zack got an interview with Grace Randolph and kind of just said that he filmed him. So I don't know. There's those things going on, but I think the story here was that he's going to work with him again for future projects. To me, that's the story. Not that they've worked with Jared Leto, but that Jared Leto is insinuating that there may be more future projects after Zack Snyder's Justice League. Bolivindo me, if Robert can't stand the heat, he better get out of the kitchen. He's paid millions. Yeah, we don't know what the situation is, and it sounds like it's from the Sun. Is not a reliable newspaper. So, but he's still shooting. He hasn't quit yet. Or is he even going to quit? So he's still shooting. There's still going to be the Batman, and it's looking really, really good. Carlos M. Mahalo, Chris. Wishing you all a very happy new year. Here's to 2021 being the year the DCEU finally explodes. Yes. I'm like you, man. I'm really excited for the Snyder Cut, and I'm really excited for Zack Snyder's Justice League. But at the same time, I'm also excited for what happens after Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like, what's the outcome of that epic film? Is it going to lead to more? Does it open up all these doors all of a sudden? Like, what is the outcome of that? So, like, right now, I can't see past beyond March, but I'm really excited to find out if we can actually restore the Snyderverse plus more. And that excites me to no end, because it really brings more content for us DC fans. Just more content, and that's something we should all be happy for. So, all right, well, that is it for all the members' comments, questions. Thank you very much. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of DC content, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.